This is North Georgia's News Talk.
All week, we're going to have young people, high school seniors, joining us in studio to talk about taking their play to the next level. National Signing Day coming up on Wednesday. Tomorrow, you've got Michael Geddes, Gainesville pitching star, one of the best baseball prospects in the nation, to look forward to. This is Game On. I'm Katie B. Davis, 34 minutes after 7 o'clock. In the meantime, in between time, Ed Clark, president of Atlanta Motor Speedway, joining us via the phone to talk about the changes to the Sprint Cup and, more importantly, what it means to the Labor Day weekend race happening at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Mr. Clark, thanks so much for taking some time out and being with us tonight. We appreciate you.
Well, Katie, it's my pleasure to be with you. I'm pretty excited about all this, so I'm really enjoying talking about it, to tell you the truth.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that you're excited because, honestly, when I've posed the question on Twitter, on Facebook, from fans, we've gotten some mixed reactions about the changes to the chase for the Cup. So for our listening audience, why are you, as a president of a Speedway, president of a racetrack that is going to house a NASCAR Sprint Cup race that will determine who gets into the playoffs, why are you so excited about the changes?
Well, quite simply, I'm a race fan as well, and it's hard for me to believe that anybody would not see this as being much more action-packed week in and week out throughout the entire NASCAR circuit this year. I know some of the longtime fans probably didn't like the change to the chase, 10 years ago, and the way we determine our champion, and if they didn't like that, they're probably not going to like this. But as a race fan and as somebody who watches NASCAR week in and week out, the fact that we've gone away from a season-long race to win the points championship, where winning an individual race doesn't matter, to, hey, that's all there is. Second doesn't matter anymore. It's all about winning races. And I don't care what sport you play. I know your listeners are fans of all types of sports. If I played in a church league softball game, I didn't go out there to play. I went out there to win. If I played tiddlywinks, I went out there to win.
Yes, sir.
And it should be the same way with NASCAR racing. And for the first time in about 20-some years, that's what it's about, finishing fifth and getting out of the car and saying, hey, we had a great points day. No, you didn't. You were the fourth loser. You didn't win today. You didn't get in the chase. And that's going to bring extra intensity, extra drama. You're going to see people taking chances and doing things that they wouldn't typically do in years past. You know, if you are about to run out of gas, you don't have to be concerned about protecting your points anymore. You can run that thing till it pumps the last ounce of gasoline out of it, trying to win the race. It's going to make it much more dramatic towards the end of these events, and really throughout the entire event. And that's why I'm excited about it. I think we're going to see more intense racing week in, week out. And when we get now to the championship, again, you got to win to move on to the next phase. And I'm really, really looking forward to watching this season play out. And I think the people who are a little bit of a doubter right now, when they see the level of competition we're going to see this year, I think they're going to come on board and say, you know what? Maybe I didn't give this full thought. This is better than I thought it might be.
You know, you took the words right out of my mouth. The competition level of each and every race is going to be ramped up tenfold, and I firmly believe that. From race number 1, Daytona 500, until, you get to the final race in the chase for the Cup, that November 16th race at Homestead, the competition level is just going to be completely out of bounds. Now, do you think this is going to bring in a broader audience to NASCAR and the Sprint Cup Series in particular? Do you think this reaches more people? The changes will reach more people?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. I think the people who do watch are going to see a better product. And if there's more talk and Monday there's more for us to talk about, then, yeah, I think more people are going to tune in to see what the heck it is we are talking about. But you go into the first race, Daytona 500, and the guy that wins that race is in the chase. He knows it. That's pretty exciting. And you ask about what it's going to do for us here Labor Day weekend when they roll in here. We'll be 2 races from setting the field for the chase for the Sprint Cup Championship. Now imagine you're one of these 3 or 4 name drivers that everybody thought at the beginning of the year would certainly be in the chase, but you haven't won yet. The intensity, the tension down in that garage area among those teams is going to be unbelievable. And they've got to win. And you'll see them taking chances and doing things which should make for a better racing event. Not only that, we've got the new qualifying procedure that NASCAR's come out with this year that's going to make Friday night qualifying at Atlanta Motor Speedway much more entertaining. Instead of a single car going around the track, everybody goes on the track. They run for about 20, 25 minutes. We take a 5-minute break, cut it to 24. They run a few more minutes, take a 5-minute break. We go to 12, and those 12 drivers determine who's going to start up front in the race by their fastest lap. You can draft, you can use strategy, you can use teammates. There are going to be more alliances than you see in a game of Survivor, and it's going to be interesting to watch, I can promise you.
We're continuing our conversation with President of Atlanta Motor Speedway, Ed Clark, on Game On this Monday. Mr. Clark, from a business perspective, as a businessman, did your eyes light up when you thought about the Labor Day weekend races that are going to happen at Atlanta Motor Speedway with, the drivers vying for the playoffs and what all is encompassed in what's going to happen at Atlanta Motor Speedway on Labor Day weekend? Did your eyes light up from a business perspective?
Well, it's anytime there's talk and dramatic things happening on the racetrack, it's good for business. There's more interest among fans, and there's more interest among casual followers and event goers, who make up a portion of the audience who attends events at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So, absolutely, but first and foremost, I got to believe most of the fans are very excited about this because I'm a fan and it excites me, and I just think the possibilities. Really, we haven't even thought of all the scenarios that could play out in this, and I'm just really, really excited about seeing it start here in a few weeks, watching it week in and week out, seeing what it does. NASCAR's made some adjustments to the cars. They've given the teams some more latitude and leeway to do things to the cars to make them competitive, do some individual things, and I feel pretty certain that's going to make for better competition, especially on the intermediate tracks where I'll admit it, we had some races last year that weren't what we typically see and what we typically expect. So just a lot of reasons to be excited about the 2014 season. I'm probably more excited going into this. Can't understand people who don't like this. Everybody's got their thoughts, and, hey, they may come back a year from now and say, you were wrong and I was right. But I'm going to tell you, from everything I've seen and the level of anticipation among the teams, I've never seen it like this in all my years in NASCAR, which is about 41. I just hope when they get to Daytona, they don't all crash in the first turn or the first lap of practice. They can't wait to get on the track and get this thing started, too. Well,
folks, you can find out more at AtlantaMotorspeedway.com. But I want Mr. Clark, while we have him on the line with us, what are some of the events coming up at the Atlanta Motor Speedway that our listeners could attend or look forward to?
Well, we'll have our 9th year of Friday night drag racing. I think this year we got like 17 Friday nights scheduled for that starting in early April or early May. Of course, we do our Legends Thursday Thunder series during the summer. We've got a great new event this year, the Summit Racing Equipment Motorama, and it's basically, it's more than a car show. It's anything to do with motors that will be featured here, and we'll have some really unusual vehicles and tons of them. A lot of car clubs are already signed up to participate. We got a lot of vendors coming in, and that's a great new event. It'll be a first year, but we partnered with the guys who did the World of Wheel show here in Atlanta, and they brought a lot of displays and interesting vehicles already. Got a few more months to finish putting that together, but it's going to be a first-time event for us. Really excited about that. And of course, Labor Day weekend, we not only is it the Sprint Cup Series, we got the Nationwide Series in, and we're bringing the USCS Sprint cars back on Friday night. That'll be fun to watch. Those guys get it on, and you don't need to pack a lunch for that. Just pack a snack, because the way they get around that track, they get it done pretty quickly. And just really looking forward to all that. A few other things we'll be announcing. Some really interesting promotions for Labor Day weekend you'll be hearing about in the next couple of weeks that I know we've done something similar to this in the past, and the fans have loved it. So keep an eye and ear out. Check our website. I think you're going to like what we come back with, and just to kind of get the season kicked off the right way.
Again, folks, that website, AtlantaMotorspeedway.com. Make sure that you're checking it out at minimum on a daily basis. Ed Clark, president of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, thanks so much for being with us and sharing your thoughts on the changes to the chase for the Sprint Cup. We appreciate you, sir. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. One more thing. If people renew their seats by February 28th, they get to be a part of our Insiders Club, which offers them the opportunity to take advantage of some really cool inside, behind-the-scenes things, tours of the garage area, going to Victory Lane for the winter celebration, things of that nature. So if you know you're coming, go ahead and register early. Maybe you'll win one of those experiences and have an even bigger weekend than it's already going to be.
That sounds fantastic, Mr. Clark. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We appreciate you, sir.
You too. Thanks so much.
All right, folks, that is President of Atlanta Motor Speedway, Ed Clark, talking about the chase for the Cup. The last two interviews we've done on this Monday edition of Game On will both be podcasted. We will post them to Twitter. We will post them to Facebook. The page is Game On with Katie B. Davis. That's the Facebook page. Twitter feed is at KTB Davis. So if you missed any minute of either Thomas Marchman and Will Cape or Ed Clark, president of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, we'll have those interviews up for you this evening. And something exciting I want to tell you at 7:45 on this Monday edition of Game On. That is that WDUN will be represented at Daytona 500 during race week. Myself, Rebecca Cameron, Ken Coleman going to be in Daytona for a couple of days. We're going to have our shows from Daytona. It's going to be an exciting time and one that we hope you will join us in. A celebratory sort of kickoff to WDUN having NASCAR on our airwaves, if you will. Remember, every race, nationwide Sprint Cup Series, you can hear on our airwaves, AM 550, FM 102.9, WDUN, beginning with the Daytona 500. We're excited. We hope you're excited too, and you will join us once again in the journey. All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to wrap up Game On. I'm Katie B. This is WDUN.